Greetings, my people. First, let us thank God for giving us another day of life and His blessing, as well as our family and friends. Welcome to the Dominic Sports Picks channel, where we also give our NBA analysis a hard look. Here you'll find everything you need to bet safely. The possible winner of each game. Whether the scoreboard will be broken with highs or lows. And of course, our classic club player bats, so you know which player is going to break it tonight. This isn't a story, this is numbers, logic, and vision. If you're an NBA fan and like to play smart, this is your channel. Subscribe, turn on that bell, and follow us every day, as we analyze every game, every piece of information, and every pick. With Dominic Sports Picks, you don't go in blind, you go in to win. NBA, MLB, NHL, NFL, any league. Here, we study to win. Let's get started. My friends at Dominic Sports Picks, here are our updated statistics for today, with the goal of maintaining transparent and honest communication with all our followers. In this report, we clearly reflect our success and loss ratios, offering a real-world view of the performance of our picks. At Dominic Sports Picks, we believe that trust is built with verifiable results, consistent commitment, and complete transparency in every shared analysis. Now, let's get to today's analysis. The NBA never sleeps, and 2026 kicks off with high-stakes drama in Indianapolis. This Friday, January 2nd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse welcomes the San Antonio Spurs squad coming off an epic comeback win against the Knicks, though shadowed by the knee injury of their generational star, Victor Wembanyama. On the other side, the Indiana Pacers are trapped in a living nightmare, holding the league's worst record, 6-28, and riding a 10-game losing streak. Rick Carlisle's team seems to have lost its identity. With Wemby officially ruled out, the landscape shifts, but Indiana's crisis is so profound that the opportunities for savvy bettors remain crystal clear. Let's break down why San Antonio is still to play and where the real value lies tonight. Pick 1, San Antonio Spurs -3.0 to win. Despite Victor Wembanyama being confirmed out due to left knee soreness, the -3.0 line for San Antonio is extremely tempting. The Spurs proved against New York that they have legitimate depth. Julian Champagny is coming off a franchise record performance with 11 triples and 36 points, proving Mitch Johnson's system can generate offense even without its center. Indiana's reality is bleak, they have lost 10 straight games, and their coach has publicly blasted the team's lack of chemistry, calling them strangers on the court. Indiana features a porous defense and an offense currently devoid of a clear direction. San Antonio, even without their star, maintains a superior competitive structure and high morale after their recent victory. Facing the NBA's worst team, 6-28, with such a small handicap is a gift, as the Pacers' internal collapse outweighs the impact of any single individual absence for the Spurs. Pick 2, totals under 245.0 points scored. A 245.0 point total is excessively high for a game where the Spurs' primary offensive engine and pace setter, Wembanyama, is absent. Without Victor, San Antonio tends to run longer possessions and relies more on perimeter shooting rather than quick transition lobs. For their part, the Pacers managed only 110 points in their last outing, and Rick Carlisle has demanded a defensive refocus after giving up 68 points in a single half. Historically, when Indiana tries to fix its defense following coach criticism, games become more physical, slow, and gridlocked. Additionally, Indiana's lack of offensive efficiency this season suggests they are unlikely to contribute enough to push the total over such an astronomical number. It is highly probable the final score lands in the 220 to 230 range, providing a massive safety cushion for the under 245.0, making this one of the safest statistical bets of the night. Pick 3, Stephon Castle over 15.0 points scored. With Victor Wembanyama out of the rotation, the shot volume and creative burden will fall directly onto the shoulders of rookie sensation Stephon Castle. The San Antonio guard has shown flashes of stardom, and in the absence of the team's main scoring reference, his field goal attempts are expected to surge. Castle is an aggressive player who attacks the rim with purpose, a style that will severely punish an Indiana defense lacking an elite rim protector. In games where the Spurs' primary stars have sat out, Castle has successfully stepped into the primary scorer role. Indiana allows a high volume of points to opposing guards due to their lack of perimeter cohesion. Seeing Castle clear the 15-point mark seems like a very safe bet, considering he will have the ball in his hands for most of the game and the home defense is at one of its lowest points of the season. The analysis is in, and the strategy is set. Don't let Wembanyama's absence cloud your judgment. the value lies in San Antonio's collective discipline versus Indiana's ongoing chaos. Madison Square Garden is set for a redemption battle this January 2, 2026. The New York Knicks, currently second in the East, arrive wounded after a stunning collapse against San Antonio where they blew a 19-point lead. Coach Mike Brown hasn't held back, stating the defense must improve immediately or it will be a long year. On the other side, the Atlanta Hawks land in the Big Apple with fresh momentum after snapping a 7-game losing streak, thanks to the returns of Kristaps Porzingis and Jalen Johnson. While Atlanta is still without Trae Young, their recent win proved they are dangerous if allowed to run. With unfinished business from their head-to-head matchup last week, this game promises sparks, high scoring, and playoff-level intensity in the heart of the regular season. Let's break down the winning picks. Pick 1, New York Knicks minus 3.0 to win. The minus 3.0 line for the Knicks at home looks like one of the strongest bets on the board. New York holds a 23-10 record and, until their recent slip-up against the Spurs, they boasted a nearly perfect 19-1 mark when leading heading into the fourth quarter. Playing at the Garden after a painful loss usually triggers a much more aggressive version of Mike Brown's squad. Atlanta, despite getting key players like Porzingis and Johnson back, remains an inconsistent team sitting in 10th place and lacks its primary floor general, Trae Young. The defensive urgency demanded by the Knicks coaching staff should translate into better control of the game's tempo tonight. The Knicks already defeated the Hawks 128-125 just a few days ago, and with the defensive adjustments expected after Brown's public criticism, they should cover the short handicap comfortably, backed by their superior depth and home court advantage. Pick 2, totals over 240.0 points scored. Betting the over in this matchup follows a clear trend for both teams. New York has surrendered at least 125 points in 4 consecutive games, marking one of their worst defensive stretches in decades, while Atlanta ranks as the 7th worst defense in the NBA, allowing 120.1 points per game. In their meeting last Saturday, both teams combined for 253 points, easily clearing the 240-point threshold. Porzingis' return adds a lethal outside scoring dimension for the Hawks that will stretch New York's defense to its limits. Meanwhile, the Knicks' offense remains elite and will feast on Atlanta's lack of perimeter cohesion. With two offenses performing significantly better than their current defenses and a high pace of play, it is highly likely we will see another high-scoring shootout at Madison Square Garden that comfortably exceeds the set line of 240.0 total points. Pick 3, Jalen Brunson over 25.0 points scored. Jalen Brunson is the undisputed heart of the Knicks' offense, and following the bitter loss in San Antonio, he is expected to take on an even larger scoring role. Brunson has proven to be a leader who thrives under pressure, and against an Atlanta defense that grants extreme liberties to opposing guards, he has the perfect stage to dominate. Without Trae Young to challenge him at the other end, Brunson can focus his energy on exploiting the gaps in the Hawks' perimeter defense, which often allows heavy scoring in the paint and off high screens. In his last outing against Atlanta, Brunson was pivotal to the win, and his shot volume typically increases in high-stakes home games. With the need to secure their standing in the East and redeem themselves in front of their fans, clearing the 25-point mark seems like a very modest goal for a player of his caliber who will have the ball in his hands constantly. The stage is set for a night of glory in New York. We have a Knicks team hungry for a win, a historic venue, and stats that point toward a massive scoring output. A clash of extreme contrasts hits Ohio. This Friday, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse hosts a game where availability is the ultimate game-changer. The Denver Nuggets arrive decimated, facing an unprecedented injury crisis, no Nikola Jokic, no Jonas Valanciunas, and literally no natural centers left on their roster. Conversely, the Cleveland Cavaliers are finally enjoying their core four, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen, at 100% health, building chemistry and stacking wins. While Denver attempts to survive through forced small ball and Jamal Murray's individual brilliance, Cleveland aims to solidify its rise in the East by exploiting its massive advantage in the paint. Let's break down the picks that will capitalize on this unique situation. Pick 1, Cleveland Cavaliers minus 10.0 to win. Betting on a minus 10.0 handicap is usually risky, but in this specific scenario, it's the most logical move. Denver isn't just missing Jokic, the loss of Valanciunas leaves them with zero rim protection against one of the league's best interior duos, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. The Nuggets are forced to play forwards at the center position, a mismatch Cleveland will punish on every possession. Additionally, Denver will be without Aaron Gordon and Cam Johnson, losing their primary defensive backbone. Cleveland has won 4 of its last 6 games, and Donovan Mitchell is coming off a 34-point performance. The Cavs' physical superiority is so overwhelming that the game will likely break open early in the second half. With a Denver squad physically drained by a short rotation, Cleveland should cover the double-digit spread with relative ease in front of their home fans. Pick 2, totals over 235.0 points scored. Despite the missing stars, this game has all the ingredients for a high-scoring shootout. Denver, under David Adelman, leads the league with 125.1 points per game and has proven that even without Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Peyton Watson maintain a frantic and aggressive pace. On the other hand, Denver's defense will be virtually non-existent in the paint, allowing Cleveland to rack up easy, high-efficiency points for 48 minutes. The Cavs just dropped 129 points on Phoenix, and their offense is at its season peak. With Denver forced to shoot more threes to compensate for their lack of an interior game and Cleveland exploiting fast break opportunities, the 235.0 point threshold feels low. Expect a fluid game with high volume, frequent trips to the free throw line, and quick possessions that push the combined score well over 240 points. Pick 3, Darius Garland over 15.0 points scored. Darius Garland is returning to peak form, and a 15.0 point line is exceptionally low for his talent in this context. He scored 19 points in his last outing, and with Denver's defense forced to collapse to help against Allen and Mobley in the paint, Garland will find wide-open lanes for his floaters and rhythm threes. Without defensive specialists like Gordon or Braun to harass him, Garland will have total freedom to operate the pick-and-roll and find his shot. Denver allows a high volume of points to opposing point guards when their interior defense fails, and Garland is a master at exploiting those gaps. Considering the game's high tempo and Cleveland's desire to secure the win early, Garland should easily clear 15 points before the end of the third quarter, making this one of the most reliable player props of the night. Motivational conclusion. The opportunity is right in front of us. Denver's injury crisis has created betting lines we rarely see in the NBA, and it's our job to capitalize on them wisely. Cleveland has the talent, the health, and the hunger to dominate this night from start to finish. Trust the analysis, stay disciplined with your bankroll, and get ready to watch the Cavs own the paint. Let's go get those greens and close out this slate with a massive win. My people, until tomorrow, blessings and good luck to all.